Howdy folks, this is DU Novice back with another little tutorial for you. Today we're going to show you how to claim territories, or pin territories as we term it, using the territory unit. I was not able to manufacture a territory unit because I did not bring enough chromite back from Mattis. I'm about 4 uncommon magnets short of being able to build one. So we're going to go through VR to another location, namely the ZVETS base. And we will grab some territory units there, and I'll show you how to pin a territory. Actually, I'll show you how to pin a whole bloom, just so you get to see that. Alright, so we're at the ZVETS base on Alioth here. Let me zoom in on my location right here. Alright, so if we were pinning, if this was our factory and we wanted to own everything around it to get adjacency bonuses with our ore, then we would get a bigger bonus if we surround the center tile with all these tiles. This one would get a bonus, and these would get adjacency bonuses as well. So this works out good for us. Let's just say this is all good ore, right? And so normally we have the first tile pinned, and then what I do is I'll pin 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So I put them close together so it's easy. It's easy if you put mining units down to go get those, and if you ever do pull the pins, they're all on the common corner instead of just putting them willy-nilly anywhere, right? So we're going to go first over to here. We're going to pin, we're going to call this one number 2. This would be our main number 1, right? So we're going to call Alioth ZVETS main 2 would be what we'd name this one. So we're going to just go ahead and set our location. We're just going to put it right here. That's going to be where we put 2 and 3. Doesn't matter where 1 is right now. So let's go ahead and connect to a container that has some. Now here's one thing to note. We have a 1.25 kilometer container range normally, right? But since we're in VR, VR takes all your talents away. So I only have a container range of 250 meters, right? So we got to keep that in mind. And if I can only carry 1 territory unit in my nano pack because that's all the room I have. So if I connect to this container that has the territory units in it, I can only go 250 meters. Because I'm in VR. Normally I would be a kilometer more than that. So let's go over here and place this first territory unit. I'll show you how this is all set up. Just understand, when you pin territories, each one of them is going to cost you a monthly fee. Currently that's 500,000 quanta weekly fee. So it costs money. So if you don't have the funds coming in to support it, you're going to lose those territories. So don't pin things that you cannot pay for, or you'll just end up losing them. All right, so we already have pin number 1 for this tile right here on this corner, so this works out perfect. This is what I would do is at this corner I would pin number 1, and as you can see here, should be able to get to 2 and 3. Let's move in just a little bit. Alright, so you can see we want to put pin number 2 right about here. So we're going to equip it. And notice that it's blue. That's because we can pin this territory. That's all good. Alright, and we're going to name this one Alioth main 2. I know it's not the exact name, but that's good enough. And we're going to make this one I'll keep. Well, I can make it my organization, or I can make it myself. Right. So I'm going to deploy this one. All right. That's just the cinematics that comes into effect, and now this is deployed. And I deployed this tile. If you look, I deployed this tile as mine, so it's green. This tile is deployed as the org, which I'm a part of, so it's blue. Right? If it was someone else's tile, it would be red. So that's your color scheme on the tiles. So then I would go over here and I would pin this one as number 3. So you got 1, 2, and then Alioth man, not main. Can't spell. And then I would fix that. So let's just say that I wanted to take a look at these. Let's go to F4. Look at territories. If I wanted to rename this, I could do that. Rename territory. If I wanted it to match the other one more or less, I'm just going to call it Alioth main instead of Alioth man because I spelled it wrong. So you can rename it right here in your territory list, right? And if you take a look at this, it's kind of important to get the names of this stuff right. Simply because once you go into a territory with a bunch of other people, you're going to have, because this is the main tile, right? And this is the second one that we just put up. So I probably would have named it Alioth ZVETS main 2. Well, matter of fact, we can just fix that now. But this one's in my name, not the org's name, so none of the other org members will be able to access it unless I go in and change the RDMS, right? So I already have an RDMS set up. I'm going to hit F7. I already have an RDMS set up for me for ZVETS and Ammo Guy to be able to access or whatever. So let's go in here and say I want them to be able to do all of this other stuff. And I add just everything to this except maybe my ability to get to my wallet, right? And then I save it. It's set up for ZVETS organization right now, and it's a tag called all my stuff and then my work light. So all I got to do is right click this, go advance, set territory rights, and just make this part of my tag called all my stuff. And now the other members of my organization, since this belongs to that tag and that tag lets all those members do all those things, right? So all of this stuff can be done by all of these members to all of this stuff, and I literally named it all my stuff, and that's the tag name, and I just added this territory to that. So now whatever I added here, access containers, take stuff out of containers, etc., 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 build rights, all that kind of stuff, all of the ZVETS members would be able to do, right? Because I set the RDMS. And again, with RDMS, and it's the Rights and Duties Management System, that's what that stands for. With RDMS, if you give people access that you don't or can't trust, and you still give them access, or you don't know them very well, you could lose all your stuff. So don't give rights to people that you don't know extremely well, and if you give your rights and somebody takes all your stuff, there's nobody to blame but yourself. Even if you thought you could trust them, it's still no one else's fault. I know you're going to be upset when you log in and all your stuff is gone and you have to start over from zero again, but that's just the way it is. so let's head over here, go up this little elevator. So I didn't set up 7 territories, I just set up the 1. But I just wanted to show you how you would do that, how you would pin a territory. And I've already talked to you in another video about scanning, how to scan. So once you pin the territory, you scan the territory first to make sure it has the ore that you want. Or in this case, since I've got my main base here, I want to surround it by taking all the tiles around it. What if I want to pin a territory, but then I want to pull that pin? Let's go back and do that. And when I say pin, I mean territory unit. Let's take a look at what we have to do to actually pull that territory unit back up and get rid of that territory. So if I don't have a scanner, is there any way for me to tell what ore is on a territory? Yes, it's kind of involved, but if I pin the territory and then deploy miners, the miners will tell me what's on there. But again, you've got 5 tiers of miners, right? So if I have basic miners, it's only going to tell me tier 1 ore, you know, and then you can keep going up and buy the next miner. So if you have the miners but not the scanner, you could pin the territory and put it down. But then what if I want to remove the territory unit? And it hadn't even technically claimed it yet. It's still in the process of claiming it for me. So is there a cooldown? It will let me pull this maybe. Alright, so there's no way to pull the territory unit until you actually have the territory unit fully claimed, and it's in it's got 7 minutes and 56 seconds to go. Okay. After that, you may or may not be able to pull your territory pin. It may take a little bit of time, like 24, 48 hours or more to be able to pull it. So you may not be able to pull it right away. But the nice thing is if you pull it before your payment is due, you won't have to actually pay anything on this territory. Right? Because if I go look at this one in my wallet, I'm going to hit tab. Go to my wallet. If I don't know that's my wallet, I can pull it out and look at the name, right? But if I go to my territories now, it should show that I have my territory on Haven, right? And then I have this one. And it says in 3 days I have a fee that's due. So I would need to put money on here. At least that much. And boom, I just paid my fee. Right? Paid 500,000 quanta. And I don't have anything due anytime soon. So apparently, holy cow. Apparently the fee is due now every 3 days. That's crazy. It used to be every week. Let's wait and see. It says every 7 days though. Okay, I don't get that. It's not matching up. Anyway, we'll figure it out and see what happens when they launch. I don't know if that fee is going to be the same amount or not. So we'll kind of have to wait and see. I'm going to hit tab now and exit this VR session. But once you're able to create a territory unit, then you're good to go. So what do I need to create a territory unit? Well, we talked about it. We need that chromite or chromium. So if I hit K, what I need to create a territory unit are these things here, right? I need a basic fixation, an uncommon fixation, an uncommon processor, actually 25 uncommon processors, and I've only been able to build 8 so far because I don't have enough copper either. So I need more copper, right? So I could get on the shuttle and go get more copper. I need polycarbonate plastic product, right? So I have this set up to make well, this is a different thing, but I need to set up some more industry to make some more stuff, but I really need more ore. I don't have enough chromium. I'm almost out, and I don't have enough malachite, which is the copper. I'm almost out. And I don't have enough pures that I've made from those to last me either. So, trying to build territory units and trying to build scanners takes a huge amount of ore. You know, lots of different things. It takes some tier 2, so you got to have some limestone, which is the calcium. You've got to have, that's a tier 2. You've got to have copper, malachite, which is tier 2, and then you've got to have this chromite, right? So that you can process and get the refined. Let me show you here, the refined pure chromium, right? So these three things that you process from those ores, you get pure chromium, you get pure copper, and you get pure calcium. This is from the limestone, this is from malachite, this is from the chromium ore. So we just don't have enough to actually produce a territory unit ourselves right now, although we did get, we got about 75% of the ore that we needed. When I went to Mattis and showed you guys how to do that, I wasn't interested in filling up my inventory and my ship. I should have paid a little more attention and filled up my inventory and my ship, because if I had, I'd have enough to build that territory unit. So, and I'll get on my tile here, if I hit my 1 key and I run around looking for ore, I will have some, hopefully I have some more somewhere on my tile, right? I will have some tier 2 ore, but it's only going to be copper and limestone. And the reason I don't have any ore is because I ran around here yesterday picking it up. All I've got is tier 1 ore. There's some tier 1 there. There's some tier 1 there. I picked up all the tier 2 ore yesterday because I knew I was short and I thought I could find enough, but you just don't get enough on these tiles. So if I wanted some more, I believe I can get malachite, I think, on the ground in Alioth. So we could go do that. But all right, so that's our tutorial for today. It's basically how you pin and rename territories. And the nice thing about I'm going to go back to the territory list. If you have 100 territories, if you have them named by planet, and you don't necessarily need your org name if it's all in your org. I mean, it's kind of a given. You don't have to put the name in there. But if you wanna VR into it, what I tried to do is name this, and then when I named the VR unit, I would name it Alioth ZVETS main, right? So that they match up. So I tried to be kind of consistent in how I name things, how I name the tiles and everything. And that way, when I have a list of 100, I can say, okay, I want Alioth, so I'll go through and scan through the Alioth stuff. Or I want just stuff that's on Lacovus, right? So I would go down to the L's and start looking at that, right? So, and it's great because if you're going there like to pick up ore, you just go right click, set as destination, and all of a sudden you're going right to it. And if you're on one of the planets where the altitude is off, like you're at 13,000 feet and that's of altitude, but that's where the ground starts, this will actually tell you exactly how far it is to that point, which is on the ground, so you get a better reference to land. So that helps you a lot. All right, so we're going to wrap it up, and hope to get you some more videos that will help you out soon. Hope everybody has a great launch.